And may I say, all protocols are observed. I understand I am given 5 minutes in the program, and so let us straight get into what I am asked to tell. In the first place, we are blessed. We are blessed to be selected and be attending this historical event organized by our children, in whom I see our original patriotism is or has come back. I am told to tackle only and only that part of the struggle, what led to the mutiny at Turid Army Garrison and the subsequent formation of the Anyanya movement, the South Sudan Liberation Movement. If I am to go straight because of time, I would want to say, from what I got from history, that the causes of Anyanya One movement in southern Sudan by then can be traced back to the 19th century, the slave trade which the Arabs and Muslim northern Sudanese and their Middle East and European traders practiced against South Sudanese communities from 1826 to 1898. Go back to that period and you will find through research what happened in Sudan and to South Sudanese in the hands of slave traders and their Turco-Egyptian colonial administrators. That slave trade era is what some of our historians regard as the dark era in the history of South Sudan. It was quite a very bad period which lasted for 70 years or more, and is a long period of suffering by our people in Sudan and in South Sudan in particular. A very bad period brought to an end by the Anglo-Egyptian colonialism of 1898 to 1956. That period, known as the condominium period, is the one that came and stopped slavery and slave trade on our people. And you can imagine, for more than 70 years, how many people died? What kind of wealth taken from southern Sudan? The condominium period tried to make a healing to the suffering that was perpetuated on southern Sudanese communities by the slave traders and their Turco-Egyptian colonial authorities. Right from Sennar, the first capital, then to Khartoum, after the transfer of the capital from Sennar to Khartoum. Details cannot be presented here, but they are available for you youngsters to get them through your research. That healing process was done through Southern policy, which treated Southern Sudan as a closed district, away from the Northern Sudanese, beginning from 1920s, when the condominium government promulgated a law prohibiting northern Sudanese Arabs from coming to South Sudan. After the northern Sudanese Islamic political forces, we took the reign of power in Khartoum from the condominium government, after they came up with the policy to erase Sudan African past and to impose an all-out Arab and Islamic culture in the country, a policy known then as Arabization and Islamization of the post-independent Sudan. Put as a bullet, you will find from your research what was Arabization and what was Islamization in South Sudan. Regions of Sudan which complied with that policy were rewarded with economic development benefits. And southern region, which expressed objection to this policy through its representatives in the national parliament, were marginalized and exploited. Of the 800 civil service posts, senior ones, which were vacated by the condominium authorities in Sudan at the wake of their departure, only 4 posts were allotted to southern Sudanese. And you can now see what was it, the marginalization was becoming vivid. The rest of the positions went to northern Sudanese for being Arabs and for being Muslims. A force for suppression was repressively used by the Islamic Northern Sudan to suppress any idea to preserve the country's diverse identity and cultures. Ashan Kida, you have the northern military forces brought to South Sudan. Southern Sudanese political leaders first tried peaceful political means, including the demand for a federation between the North and the South. Southern political leaders then resorted to the demand for establishment of a ministry which would deal with the Southern Sudanese affairs and the promulgation of a national constitution that recognized the cultural diversity of the country. Failing to get all this done because of the rigid rejection, by the northern Sudanese political forces, southern Sudanese political elites of the time found themselves left with nothing except to opt for a resort to an armed liberation struggle. This is a summary. That liberation struggle, which began from Tuareg Mutiny on the 18th of August 1955, ended in the formation of SANO with its armed wing called Anyanya, becoming a political and an armed movement. And so the Anyanya One movement started as a result of those grievances, which I have just summarized and wouldn't want to go in details. So I think my 5 minutes are gone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wahela, Governor, Honorable